If you are someone who is super ambitious, you want to grow in your career, you want to make more money, you want to go after the promotions, but your anxiety is holding you back, then this video is for you. I was promoted within the first year of my job and multiple times since then, and ultimately tripled my annual salary, even though I suffer from crippling anxiety. And so in this video, I'm going to share with you 3 practical strategies that will help you manage your anxiety, especially at work, and help you make more money, grow in your career, and live the life that you want to live. Now, if we haven't met, my name is Rachel Sturm. I am the author of Happiness is Just a Mood. And like I said, I am someone who struggled with anxiety my entire life. And over the past 6-7 years, I have spent hours and hours and hours and thousands of dollars learning everything I could about anxiety. This is what I do. This is what I'm passionate about. And I want to help others to be able to manage their anxiety so that they can grow in their careers and make more money. So with that, let's get into the video. The very first strategy that I want to talk about is separating our facts from our fears. Anxiety has this way of making us believe that our fears are facts. And so we go from thinking, what if I fail, to believing I will fail. And so before letting anxiety control any of our career decisions, it's important to know what your fears are and then what the facts are so that you can make an informed decision and not be controlled by your anxiety. I had a kind of funny moment when I first started working in the corporate world. I had a leader ask me why I didn't apply to this role that had opened up. It would have been a promotion, but I didn't apply for it. And he asked me why I didn't. And I told him I wouldn't be good at it. And what he asked me next kind of took me back, because I didn't think of it. And what he asked me was, well, how do you know you won't be good at it? Did someone tell you you wouldn't? Have you tried it before? And I had no answer. I just said, I just know. In my brain tells me that I would not be good at it. So that's when I realized that there were the things that my anxiety was telling me, and then there were actual truths that I was completely ignoring. So that's why this very first exercise is to write down your fears and the facts. So maybe your fear is that you don't know everything there is to know about this new role. Well, the fact is, you're not expected to know everything. Maybe another fear is that you'll make too many mistakes. So I'll make too many mistakes. The fact is that you're going to get training, you're going to have support. Another fear is that I won't know the answers to everything. The fact is, you're not expected to know the answer to everything. And in fact, people will respect you more if you just say, I'm not sure, but let me find out for you, than to make up some random answer that's not even correct. So the fact is, it's okay to not know and to say, I'll find out. And maybe the fear number 4 is I will have to handle everything perfectly at the beginning, from the beginning. Well, the fact of that is your responsibilities will grow with time. So once you have your list and you're able to see what your fears are and what the actual facts are, the one question you should ask yourself is, which of these columns am I making my decision from? Am I trying to predict things that aren't real and letting my anxiety control my career decisions? Or am I looking at the facts, the evidence that is tangible and real, and making the decision based on that? Because if you're going based on your fears, then you're letting anxiety control your career, and you're never going to be able to grow and make the money that you want to be able to make. Strategy number 2 is having an anxiety plan. So what I mean by this is having a plan for when your anxiety does start to ramp up. I am a firm believer that anxiety will never be cured, and I think anyone who says that there is a cure to it is lying. It's complete BS. We evolved as human beings to have anxiety to protect us from threats. Unfortunately, for some of us, our anxiety and our nervous system is more sensitive. And so the point of this is not to think that anxiety will never show up and to wait until you're ready and you feel like your anxiety won't show up to go after a promotion or grow in your career. That's not realistic. You're not going to eliminate your anxiety, but you can manage it by coming up with a plan on how to respond when it does come up. And that's what the anxiety plan is all about. So how it works, again, you'll have 2 columns, and one will be, if this happens, ... I will do this ... So maybe you think, if I start to overthink every meeting, overthink every meeting. So if this happens, then I will write down the facts instead of replaying conversations in my head all day. If I start to get the physical symptoms of anxiety, we've all been there, we know the really fast heart rate, the sweating, the trembling, anything like that. So if this happens, if I start to experience physical anxiety symptoms, I will remember to do my deep belly breathing and my 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 grounding exercise. And 3, if I do make a mistake, because when we do make mistakes, and we will, we're human beings, that can trigger our anxiety and start making us think we're not good enough, we were never meant to be in this role. People are going to think you're incompetent. Remember, I will remember that I will fix what I can, learn from it, and give myself grace. So I think you get the point, but really it's all about having a plan going into your new role. And once you have a plan on how you'll manage anxiety, when it appears, however it appears, you'll feel more confident going into really anything, any meeting, any presentation, because you know you have the tools to manage your anxiety even when it does pop up. And lastly, strategy number 3, I call the anxiety mountain. So if you're anything like me, when you start to overthink or you start to think of a new role or any career decision, you start to think of everything that's entailed in that position. And the problem with that is your brain becomes very overwhelmed with everything that you think is going to go into this role because you think that you need to do it all from day one. So that's why I call it an anxiety mountain, because instead of taking steps, we just pile everything that goes into the role into a mountain full of tasks. So on the top here we have you accepted the promotion. With that, we start to think that we have to run meetings. We have to remember our team's names. We have to learn new processes, learn new systems, learn new software, do presentations, manage projects, deal with conflict, and handle customer issues. And so we look at this and it's just so overwhelming, and you start to tell yourself, there's no way I can do all of this and be good at it from day one. So the strategy that I want you to start doing is, instead of looking at the whole mountain, break the tasks into individual steps. like a staircase. The very first thing is maybe the task is to meet your team. Then maybe you learn one new process. You ask questions. You complete tasks for one day's worth of tasks. And you just keep learning. And when you break up all of these things into manageable steps, it becomes a whole lot less overwhelming, and you're able to see things more clearly, and you're not just looking at everything that you need to be good at, because in reality, you're not going to be expected to be perfect at everything on your first day of a job. Trust me, I've held multiple roles. If anyone expects you to be like that, then that's something's wrong with them, and I probably wouldn't take that job. But once you start breaking your tasks into manageable steps, you'll be less overwhelmed, your anxiety will start to come down, and you'll feel like you have more control. So these are the 3 strategies that I use whenever I want to grow in my career and manage my anxiety at work. I hope at least one of them is helpful for you. I'm doing my absolute best to take everything that I've learned over the years and give it to you so that you can, as I said, grow in your career, make more money, and live the life that you want to live. So I would appreciate it from the bottom of my heart if you could like, subscribe, and let me know if there's anything that you want me to cover when it comes to anxiety at work, or if there's any strategies that have helped you in the past. I would love to know. And if you're looking for free resources, templates, workbooks, I'm going to post a link in the description. And if you're interested in working with me one-on-one for some coaching for your workplace anxiety, I will also post that in the description below. But until the next video, thank you so much for listening, and I'll see you in the next one.